Hi, this is Lance from Rivers of Judah Ministry, and I just wanted to share with you a small word from the Word of God, and it's found in Luke chapter 24. It's a story of the two disciples. I woke up this morning, and God brought my attention, remind me of the two disciples of this story here. And it's interesting, these two disciples, they were in Jerusalem. And as we read that chapter, we see that those two disciples, they were disappointed, they was frustrated, and they were leaving Jerusalem. Jerusalem, the meaning of that city means the city of peace, city of hope. It seemed like they were leaving hope and they were walking towards the other village called Emmaus. And Jesus came along and he heard those two disciples speaking, and he just listened to them in the beginning, and they were just sharing the sadness and all their frustration, and Jesus did not interrupt them in the beginning. And later, after they opened their hearts and start sharing with Jesus, he started guiding them, speaking about the words of the prophets about the Messiah, and bring revelation of the Word of God. And as you read that chapter, you see that the two disciples was already starting to get dark, and they invited Jesus to come in, to go into their house, to their home. And so Jesus was not recognized by them at that time, and they so invited this stranger, but he seems to be a very nice guy, and invited him to come in. And as Jesus entered, as they sat at the table, and Jesus, as he thanked the Father, gave thanks to the Father and broke the bread, that was when the disciples, their eyes were open. Their eyes were open as Jesus was breaking the bread. I believe that those two disciples, when they were leaving Jerusalem, it was during the Passover days. So the point is that in times like this, God can speak to us, as God spoke with those two disciples and went after those two that were drifting away. It seemed like those two disciples, they were drifting away. But I just wanted for us to check a few points here that I found very interesting. First, the name of this village, Emmaus, the meaning is warm springs, or warm springs, meaning not hot, not cold. And it's interesting that in the book of Revelations, Jesus says, I wish you were hot or you were cold, but not lukewarm. And it's interesting, leaving a position of peace, a position of hope, where those disciples were in Jerusalem, they started journeying into a lukewarm routine life. They were going back to their familiarities and everything. Maybe as we know, they lived there. But that was not the place where they were supposed to be. They were supposed to be in the city of peace. They were supposed to be in the city of hope. And it's interesting that Jerusalem, if we're going to speak about Jerusalem, it says in Psalm 87, verse 6, says, they were born in Jerusalem. So in other words, newborn believers, those that are born again, that knows the Lord, they are from that city. They are born, their citizenship is from Jerusalem. And that's a place where we should stay even in these days, as we are all with our families or separated. Each one has their own situation. But my point is, don't leave your position of peace. Don't leave your position in your spirit of hope, but keep trusting in the Lord. It's a time to rest. It's a time of peace, not a time to drift away. And so, interesting that Jerusalem, it's there in the Mount Zion, right? Mount Zion. It's so special because it's from that mountain. From that mountain is where the word says, those that trust in the Lord are like the mountain Zion, meaning they are not shaken. We are in times of shaking. The earth and heaven, it's shaking. But those that trust in the Lord, they are just like the mountain Zion. They are unshakable because their trust is in the Lord. So I just want to share you these minutes and just remind you, you're citizens. You're a citizen of Jerusalem. You should not leave Jerusalem. Stay in Jerusalem. Stay in the place of peace with God. Stay in the place of rest. This is a year of rest as well. So stay in that position, for the Lord has wonderful things to do, and He's going to do wonderful during the Passover and after all this period and until the end of the year and all the future, what the Lord holds for us. God bless you.